So I think we'll revisit this as soon as we watch it. I think it's going to be a decent film, and it may surprise me. I don't think it'll be as bad as I thought it was.
I think it'll be entertaining. I think the saving grace will be the villain. I don't think I'll be upset paying money for it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they're not going to do anything with the character. So if it's really
well,
good,
we don't know that because if it do well, they may say, you know what, we got something. Because
you're right. You're right. They're going to make a trilogy.
3 is a magic number.
What's happening, folks? Back to cover the Batman.
Good day, people.
Right.
Hello,
we actually saw it.
There have been multiple people asking for this episode.
Really?
Yes.
People actually asked for
Yes.
it?
A couple of my homies. Shout out to my homie Khan. Craig, we had a conversation because I couldn't have a conversation with you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And he expanded my mind a little bit even more. And I was like, oh, I got a point. So I can't wait for him. He's in California. He wants to be on the show, and he's informative.
Bring it.
Yeah, I know, he's ready.
Yeah.
My mom was like, when are you going to talk about it? My mom,
Mom
my pop,
was?
yes.
Yo.
They were like, when are you going to talk about it? And I'm like,
Yo, bring
so
the
what you
glory.
think? Everybody that I talked to was very excited about the last episode due to the fact that it happened to fall right in the lines of the movie coming out. It was just good timing. That's all it was. We're always going to be us.
Right.
But to me, it was just very good timing for the people to hear something that is not out there. That's just my take on it, talking to people.
I can appreciate that because again, I think I said it in the thing. I don't like chasing rabbits. We talk about what we talk about.
Right.
You know,
That's it.
And that DC conversation has been ongoing since Man of Steel.
Yeah.
You know, and back in that day, and
Right.
and so I'm wow. People like us.
Yeah, they asking, bro.
That's funny,
And
man.
they told me, yo, don't slack on the Harlem when I talk about this.
The home of innovating legacies, stories of gods killing Satan, where they honor Harlem's father, Philip Payton. The Renaissance in the making. Ellington, Garvey, Joe Louis, Lena Horne, Malcolm, Maya, Louis.
They because people feel a certain way.
They want you to put on your Timbs while you talk about it.
Exactly.
Oh, you got to throw a Timberland up.
Yeah,
on the
I'm telling you, you got to throw Timberland. I'm dressed in all black like the Omen right now for a reason.
Right. With
Yeah.
that's okay. Don't slack on the Harlem.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm just saying.
New York, baby.
That's my man's in there. You
All
know.
the time, every day.
New York, baby.
Where you from?
Queens.
Brooklyn.
Oh, the movie, I did like it. But I didn't like Batman.
You did not.
As a
like
Batman movie,
3 is a magic number.
it was a 3.
Why the 3?
Okay, so what I've studied from this movie in my memory, the director or whoever wrote it likes 2 certain characters. Batman was basically Terminator through the whole movie.
I'll be back.
That walk and that ground walking and that sound, that's the Terminator. Terminator 1 and 2.
Nice night for a walk.
Okay.
If you watch Terminator 1 and 2, the fear comes from the walk.
Everybody walk your body. Everybody walk. You.
2, we all know that the Riddler was Jigsaw. Completely. That
Jigsaw.
Was, Saw the movies.
Okay.
Yeah, so some of the traps that he was using was definitely Jigsaw. The only thing different is Jigsaw didn't yell. He was mad. He was really relaxed and cool. My problem with this movie is they treated Batman not as if he was year 1, as if he just put this cowl on and never did this before in his life. Like, Batman year 1 was still a ninja. He was a master thief and he was a master detective. What they showed in that movie was none of that. He was taking blows left and right. So take it back a little bit. They haven't figured out how to put CGI to Batman so it doesn't look corny, because Batman moves like Daredevil moves. He's not one dimensional, just walking directly towards you. Batman is a ninja. What you saw in there was a brute strength and knocking people down like the Terminator.
Okay.
So that's my problem with that. And that dude is smarter than that. They played him through the whole movie. That dude is smarter than that. They played him through the whole movie. They played him through the whole movie. Do you realize
He's
that
technically a genius.
he is? The Riddler fooled him the whole movie?
No, God! No, God, please, no!
He fooled him the whole movie.
No! No!
Okay.
The whole movie, Batman's thinking there's something else, and the Riddler was bringing you along. At the end of the movie, he said, we're supposed to be in here together. Like, I
Okay.
figured that you understood. He's too busy worried about his identity. The dude never even figured out the problem.
No!
He never figured out the crime.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Batman's a genius, bro. Like,
Okay.
that what they're doing is him stumbling into stuff. Batman doesn't stumble into
I
stuff.
wanted him to not have figured out how to be Batman yet.
Okay.
I don't care if it's year one or not. That dude's a genius, bro. So he never did a detective work in the whole movie.
Do you think they tried to give him or show him a hero's journey? Is that why they didn't do that?
Dude, Hero's Journey, he's got the cowl on. If they were gonna do Hero's Journey, then they should have showed him building up to being Batman, not in
He was vengeance. He wasn't Batman. He was
whatever.
vengeance.
Batman is very much about the psychological investigation of a character that is caught in his own moral maze.
And there was no Bruce Wayne. It's not that Robert Pattinson did a bad job. There was no Bruce Wayne. Every time he was on the screen, there was no real talking. It was just gloom and doom and depression and aggravation. There was no, so I can't say he did a bad Bruce Wayne because Bruce Wayne has to actually say something and do something to be Bruce Wayne. He did nothing as Bruce Wayne. He just did a lot of moping and moping.
I've loved
and walking
Batman since I
around.
was a kid. The story is a very psychological one. He's basically coping with things that happened to him as a child, and he's driven to try and make sense of his life.
But as
Okay.
Batman, to me, they underestimate him as a detective. They underestimate him as a fighter. And none of that was shown. And for you to say this is better than Christian Bale, the streets is bugging.
Okay.
There's no way on this planet that he's better than. That dude took gunshots into the face from regular people. He didn't dodge a thing.
He outmatches these people because he's fighting a stranger as if they have personally harmed him. I think in a way he's imagining that these are the people who killed his parents, like every single one of them.
Those are Riddler's little cronies on Instagram Live. Somebody on Instagram Live got a shotgun, bought a green suit, and took a shot at Batman's face.
Okay.
That should have never happened. Where was his flash bombs? I mean, there was a whole lot missing, if you ask
He
me.
had a few little
No,
gadgets.
dude, he's a ninja first.
I agree.
We all know that. There was no essence. And every time he came out, matter of fact, he never came out the shadows. He just walked out.
Okay.
He never flipped out the shadow.
He came out the shadow during the daylight. You know, at sunrise.
And look, this is my last point. He was hanging with the people way too much. It was like Adam West Batman. He was in the streets with everybody, walking the streets, talking to detectives, so much that you woke up in a police station around 1,000 cops, and Gordon was the only thing that saved you.
He didn't walk in there. They took him in there after he got knocked out.
He got knocked out. But
Yeah.
he
From
was
a guy who got his head blown off with a bomb.
No, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
No, but he was amongst the people all the time.
Okay.
Like, to me, if him and Gordon were cool like that, he should have been in that room without those people knowing it. When they walked in the first time.
So,
but that was
which Batman are you talking about? You understand where I'm coming from?
I get you.
Because there's
Okay, so if I can go from the animated series Batman, I can go from the comic book Batman.
Mm-hmm.
The only Batman that are like what they just did was Adam West. Adam West is the only Batman that I know that he was hanging with the commissioner and going to crime scenes. Michael Keaton wasn't hanging with the commissioner going to crime scenes. He was Batman. Batman was a vigilante. This and showing up to people's doors. You know who I am?
Okay, I got you.
That's Terminator, bro.
All right.
Go.
But also no. I was gonna.
Why are you saying no?
Go.
What you got, man?
I saw the Terminator. Right. Do you know who I am?
Right.
Open the door.
Sarah Connor.
Right.
I'm sorry. That's not Batman.
I was gonna address your one point about him coming in the room. I think that was more of a callback when they were in, all the cops were in.
No, you're right.
From
that
Christian Bale, because he came out of the corner when everybody was in the room.
What you talking about? What part?
In Christian Bale, I think it was Dark Knight, the first one, or Batman Returns, whichever the Christian Bale first one.
Okay.
When all of the police officers were in the room, they were talking, and then he was in the corner and he just walked up and it freaked everybody out. I think that was more of a callback versus, I'm just amongst the people. You know what I mean? I think they was just trying to show the difference in his levels, me personally. All right. But now my take on this movie, I thought it was entertaining. It Robert Pattinson did about what I thought he would do. I think that he could have done a way better job. He was definitely one note. And he performed the way I thought he was going to perform as a Batman, and it fell flat. Everybody outshined him. Zoe Kravitz stole the show. She was phenomenal. He was really one note. And he's a better actor than what he portrayed. Like when he went in and when Alfred got blew up or whatever, he played it one note. Versus going through the range of emotions, because clearly his emotions were out of check. That's why he was feeling some type of way, that he kept that information from him all that time. And
what do you mean? His emotions were out of check?
He said they were in check.
They were in check.
Yeah.
Because clearly his emotions were out of check. Because clearly his emotions were out of check.
He said they were in check.
They were in check.
Yeah.
He knew how his parents were killed.
Okay.
But yet Alfred just got blew up in the mansion or the penthouse or what have you.
Okay.
And you only gonna just be mad at one part of that? Like your father figure is there that took care of you for the past 25 years, and you just gonna be, it was just one note. It was just one note straight through.
Okay.
It was no range. But I understand what they were going after of him just being angry and lashing out, and that's what took him down the road of vigilante.
Okay.
But it was no layers to him. He was just one note. And that's why I think it fell flat. And I think he's a better actor than that. But he just didn't pull off the rest of it, because those little nuances.
You can't savor all the little emotions.
I think would have pushed it over the ledge. Because technically, if you remove him.
Be very careful with the next thing you say.
Take caution in your tone.
Even though it's a Batman movie, if you remove him, everything else around him was great.
That's not very careful.
Zoe Kravitz was great. Colin Farrell, he did a phenomenal job as the Penguin. I didn't even recognize that was even him.
That's
like even his voice.
He changed
the
Penguin for me.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Riddler, phenomenal. I like the take. They took a real nice, different take on him to reinvent this character that was, I think, has been really hard to bring across.
Versus Jay's take that he was Jigsaw, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, he did a phenomenal job, especially toward the end with the excitement when he was when he was in Arkham, and he was talking about, yeah, you're supposed to be with me, and like breaking everything down and showing how he, like why he's doing it, the love and admiration he had with this whole thing. It was phenomenal. It was really good. I don't think it was good as just keeping it DC. I don't think it was good as the Joker, but it was definitely in the right direction in that family, if you will. But I still think as a Batman, he's better than Clooney and Val Kilmer. But
yeah, well, those were made
for the money
under
grab.
different circumstances,
Yeah.
and before people started taking things seriously.
And also, I hope that wasn't what I thought it was at the end. Now, I didn't see I heard there was an extra credit. I didn't see the extra credit scene. But
Was there an extra credit scene?
That's what I heard.
Okay, I don't know. I left both times I
We
saw it.
didn't stick around for that.
I heard there was an extra credit scene. I haven't seen it. But,
Okay.
But anyway, the last credit,
Post credit scene.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But when he was in
Post
the
or
jail.
mid?
Yeah, mid credit. I hope that wasn't supposed to be the Joker. I hope that was supposed to be Two-Face.
Okay.
Because if that was the Joker, I'm like, nah, I don't know. Just the way it looked, like if they trying to go for a scary clown look or something like that, I'm not gonna ride with it. But if it's supposed, because it sounded like Jared Leto. So if it's Jared Leto already in jail, that's supposed to be an older Joaquin Phoenix, then maybe. But the way that they showed through the little peephole of his face, I don't know about that.
Okay. Anything else on it? Nope. Okay. I enjoyed Pattinson's Batman. What I took into account is this was his second year. Now, we all know that when he left, he went and studied with Ra's al Ghul. Then he came back, started doing his thing. 2 years in, same thing that goes with Spider-Man, where not we, but fanboys expected Tom Holland's Spider-Man to be Spider-Man within the next movie, and that's just not the case. Put into account, even with the story, Christian Bale's Batman, 2 years in, without the rush to get rid of Falcone and everything they did in that movie to get him to the next Joker movie. So if Batman does his thing, he comes in, he starts fighting crime, he comes in with vengeance. And this is why I knew what the writers were doing. He came in with vengeance, and he's pounding and beating the hell out of people because he was angry, until he realized that his responsibility to that city was not about him. So when Jay says he was walking amongst the people, he had to walk amongst the people for his hero's journey.
I agree.
This character's hero's journey to get where he was going. Once he walked amongst the people, saved the mayor, became cool with Gordon and everything, then he could disappear into the shadows. What transformed him, his transformative moment, so to speak, was when he pounded dude down, and the guy was like, "Who the hell are you?" And he goes, "I'm vengeance." That's when he realized he was on the wrong track. So this is another, again, it's a one-off.
Is it really a one-off?
It might be. I'm not sure. But my point is that the vengeance part was what was driving him. His anger is what was driving him until he got, what is that word? He got closure or reciprocity, whatever it is, not reciprocity, closure to how his parents died. Because he had his own
notion.
Yeah. But then when he got in, he was told that it was Maroni, right? Until he talked to Alfred, and then Alfred straightened it out for him. The fact that his mom was in and out of mental institutions explains his little cuckoo part as well. So for me, watching the character, even to the the detective part, the detective work. He did do detective work, as far as I was concerned, for a guy that's 2 years in, being led by vengeance. So his ninja thing, yeah, he may have had that if this Batman studied with Ra's al Ghul, but obviously he had to. He had to. So he comes back full bore, full cocky, full emo, full upset, anger, my parents, I'm vengeance, I'm taking everybody down.
You don't care about your family's legacy.
What I'm doing is my family's legacy.
Once he realized that it was his duty to Gotham to be better than what that little small-minded thinking was, he rose. This was for Batman. This is for him as Batman. Had no problem with it. Zoe Kravitz is just a given. It's freaking Zoe Kravitz. She did her job, and her Catwoman was good. Her story was good.
Absolutely.
Totoro, who played Falcone. Whoa.
Brothers getting bagged on my block like, whoa. Coming home within a half an hour like, whoa. Fun like they had the manpower like.
It was him as an actor, like settling into.
Yeah,
I'm me.
Like he was.
Yeah,
he was
just
comfortable.
he walked through
like
that
when they
whole
were at
thing.
they at the courthouse, and he turned around. He was like, "Oh, hey." Hey.
And,
Like that.
And I forgot what he said about.
He said, "You know this kid right here?
Yeah, his father saved my life.
He watched from the little
That's
balcony.
like gangster stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
even you just did the movement that he did
Yeah,
that I
he's-
noticed. They call that actors call it a do or something like that. But even when he said the balcony, he looked up.
Yeah.
When he was talking, I was like, wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
dope.
he on point.
He's
man.
like he was up in the balcony.
on
I was
the
like,
balcony.
instead of looking at
Yeah.
and I forgot what Bruce Wayne said to him, and he laughed at it. He was like, that was funny, and that type of thing. But let me get back to Bruce now. If I had an issue, because I didn't go in to pick the movie apart, I actually went in with an open mind. And the physicality of Batman in that suit versus what he looked like without that suit on, that's where my suspension of disbelief almost fell off. And the reason is because from what I understand, Pattinson did not want to work out for that, which ticked me off.
It showed it.
Now, I don't care. He didn't have to hulk up, right?
No.
But the thing is if you're putting in that kind of work,
lean.
when I'm lifting boxes or if I start working out, I will swell up a little bit. He was, I think the part, it was when he was on his hands and knees, sort of like, he was emaciated as hell, and you saw his little belly thing hang down.
It's the part where he,
He's pushing the table. And all that.
Every superhero shows their back at some
Right.
point. The camera went on his back. You're supposed to see the shoulder, the in between, and your wings.
Something.
The lats. Yeah.
My son's back looked better than his. Yo.
You're right.
And my son is 16 years old.
And they tried their best to put some baby oil on, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Like,
It was
I
coming
get
up
it.
short.
I get it. And that small thing is where I was,
Can I ask you this though? Could they not have reshot the scenes?
It's not the point. It's that he did not
He didn't
want to.
No,
do
I know
that.
he didn't, but I mean, because the movie was supposed to come out 2 years ago.
Doesn't matter. There were rumors that he even claimed COVID, so he would stop working. And I don't know how dedicated he was to the project. It's not for me to say, but it did show on screen. Is my point. It did. It did translate to the screen, and so that part. Now, let's think about Tommy Hearns. You know, tall cat, lanky.
Yeah.
That left hand was wicked, and he had that power. Sugar Ray, all these welterweight cats when they were in that class. Even when they went up to middleweight, Tommy Hearns put on
a little weight,
some bulk. I don't know if you guys know who Tommy Hearns is, but
He's a very long arm gentleman.
long arm
who will knock
boxer.
your face
And
off.
when boxing was when
boxing was dope.
when the boxers what do you say? When they didn't run from each other in the ring. That thing, when boxers box. My point being is that even with the amount of fighting that he did in the streets, he should have had a little bit more meat on his body, right? So I left that part alone. Gordon, again, that's Gordon, the guy. What's the actor's name?
Jeffrey
Wright.
Yeah.
It's Jeffrey Wright.
AKA Peoples.
That
Hernandez.
man can play silence.
Oh yeah, to
like,
a goat.
Yeah.
Like
crazy.
no other. Yeah.
Even I don't know if anybody has seen. Well, I know some people have Westworld.
Of
He
course.
was in that.
He was phenomenal.
Everything that he's in, and even what is it? The James Bond,
Mm-hmm.
right? Everything he did in the movie was cool, but the best part to me is when he was talking to James Bond. He's like, "I'm bleeding chips."
Sorry, I should have introduced myself, seeing as we're related. Felix Leiter, a brother from Langley. You should have a little faith. You keep your head about you. I think you have him. You're not buying in?
No.
Listen, I'm bleeding chips. You have a better chance. I'll stake you.
And what about the winnings?
Does it look like we need the money?
You know, you feel me? It was that simple little line, but it was how he delivered it. So for the movie overall, I have no truck with that. But then Warner Brothers, you have failed this city. When we went to the end, and he's in Arkham, and you just got to give us the Joker, don't you?
Oh, how delicious it is!
Yep.
You just can't do it without giving us something to make us think that the Joker's coming. I had issue with that. But the Riddler, when you say Jigsaw, I've never seen the movie, so
mind you, it is still a good Riddler. It's just it's duplicated to the point where I can see the duality in
I get
characters. But what I had a conversation with my homie, I said, you can't knock this Riddler because we've never seen the Riddler's origin story for real. And he might have been this crazy until he balanced himself out. This might have been the beginning of him. This might have been what the Riddler was really like before he became a more older man.
Yeah, I get all that.
And that's what I just, so when I say that is Jigsaw, it doesn't mean that the Riddler was bad. He carried the story.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that I see where the director was going with, like.
But we have to be, all of us, everybody out there should be very careful. Not careful, but about saying what a director was thinking. We don't know if that man saw at all. The director, you get what I mean?
I get you.
So
somebody
to compare it,
saw Saw.
right? But I've never seen it. But so comparing them to Jigsaw's, again, whatever. But here's the trick of it: the Riddler in that film said to him, it was kind of a parallel for the mask. You wore your mask. That's why he had the mask on, because he was mimicking Batman. It wasn't because he was trying to be whatever Jigsaw was.
No,
I have no clue.
It's not about the mask. No, it's Jigsaw is literally riddles and traps and for people to get out of them.
Let me get to this point. So the riddles and the traps and everything had absolutely nothing to do with putting people in peril. The Riddler's entire thing was to reveal the truth that the Renewal Project was garbage and that the police were corrupt and they were dirty. He's not a villain.
That's Jigsaw's same thing too.
Okay.
That's
to
why
reveal the truth and things like that.
When
Okay.
he snatches somebody up, they are cheating on their wife or doing something, whatever.
So now I can ride with what you're saying.
Yeah.
And if that's what
That's
he does,
what it
if
is,
Jigsaw kidnaps people and goes, you're a corrupt politician and nobody
Exactly.
knows, confess your crime.
That's exactly the same
Gotcha.
thing.
Okay. 100% on that. So
Can I give kudos?
can I finish my point?
Oh, I thought you was my bad.
No, I talk. I pontificate. I soapbox. This is what I do.
By all means.
Yeah, I just want
clean.
to finish the point of it, because for those of us that might have missed certain things or thought this was that. For me, and I'm not telling anyone how to think, but I would really, again, like I did the Joker. That was the beginning of Heath Ledger's Joker. If this is Batman in his second year, that could very well be, leading up to that type of
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale Batman, a guy who's learning the ropes, blah, blah, blah. And vengeance. Nah, it's not for me. The city kind of accepts me. I saved the mayor's life, so I'm in her pockets. Me and Gordon are cool. The entire corrupt police force has now been taken down. So all that has happened is that now Batman, by virtue of his presence, has created the Penguin, the Riddler. I don't know if he was responsible for whatever pseudo Joker that was in Arkham, if he put him in there or not. The early Joker, which could very well be Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. We don't know. Or he was in there prior. But whole point being is overall, the movie wasn't that bad. My only problem with it is Pattinson's lack of girth for his fighting skills and the what is that? Jay's point that it's a freaking one-off. And why can't DC make movies of that caliber with their main money pit thing that they have? So now that they have to go back and repair and fix and what's that thing called? The
course correct?
No, not all that movie jargon crap. I'm talking about the name of the Flashpoint.
Flashpoint.
Now you have
Flash.
to go Flashpoint everything when that wasn't Flashpoint's initial
story.
thing.
So
the
what-
story of Flashpoint was to expand,
So
explode,
what
and
you're
contract.
saying is it doesn't really matter.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. So it was
really matter,
it was
people.
enjoyable. It
Yes.
had its moment,
Yep.
and for fan folk to say that it was better than the Spider-Man or it's in Marvel, Marvel should be nervous and blah blah blah. That again goes to my just because you got your crackers. Oh. They're stay ready. Saltine, premium saltine crackers. I'll take boxes of them. I love them. But you give a starving man a cracker. You give a starving man a cracker, and they think it's the best thing in the world. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But it was not that good. It was a great movie.
It was
But
a
it
good
wasn't.
movie.
And then nothing can be taken away from
Yeah.
that. But it was not that.
Groundbreaking.
Oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world.
Can I
and Marvel should be
This is
nervous,
the
and we
thing.
should do this, and we should do that. It was not that type of film.
It was a good movie, but it wasn't a great superhero movie. To
It was a
me,
good Batman movie.
It was a good movie.
It was a good DC movie.
I say movie.
I think it was a good Batman movie. That Batman, that movie was not bad. I cannot.
No,
I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it was a good movie, but for a superhero standpoint,
He's 2 year old. He's two years in. He's just getting his feet wet. He hasn't his flash bangs and his stuff like that.
The only reason why I feel so strong about this is because I've watched year 1 and year 2 the cartoon movies. I've read the comic book, and he was.
This was a long Halloween. That's what this one was.
I'll let it be.
You feel me? It was a long Halloween.
It was just, dude. To me, I just feel like they dumbed him down. Like the joke. Like he was obsessive to murder.
Hold up. Hey.
Did you know that? He figured out. He said, "Oh, I brought him to the light." He told you.
Okay. Let me go back to that one. I forgot about that part. Now, the clues. I want to go back. Let me go back. The first one was he pounded the hell out of the mayor, killed him, and he came onto the crime scene because Gordon needed him there. The police didn't want him there. Gordon instinctively already knows that some of his cops are corrupt, right? He needs Batman's help, but he's not fully aware. He had that feeling, right? So he brought him in. He's walking around. He broke the riddles down right there as they happened. That was the only thing that was available him for detective work at that time, where the evidence that was presented were the riddles that were directed towards him. The next round he went to, I'm trying to remember this. I'm just jump around, but he did the rat maze. Right? He got the clue from there. There's no way that they could have found out who that person was because those riddles and the shape of the crime itself, Batman could never have taken control of that because Riddler was in charge of that thing all the way to the end. All the way to the end. Batman could not have found him because there was no evidence leading to him. That he covered his tracks and bring him into the light, and then I'll show you where I am. And that's exactly what he did.
The only reason why I have a problem with that is because the way they write Batman all the time, he always stops him.
But that's the future Batman.
That's the future.
No, I'm
that's
talking
the
about year 1. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is not even me defending. Y'all making me defend Batman. Y'all making me look real bad right now.
You see what's going on right now.
Y'all making me look real bad right now. Y'all making me look real bad right now. Let me tell you something. This is the only time this is going to happen. So we're going to stop this right here after this. That man is a beast and he's a genius. Year 1, year 2, and year 3. He's never been foiled like that before. Like he didn't solve anything.
He wasn't foiled.
He didn't solve anything.
But here's my where
you're expecting something that
wasn't there. Where was Batman foiled?
Dude,
he did not slip one time.
He walked Falcone into that situation. The man died. And he said, "Oh, he's up there."
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. He walked Falcone into that situation. He said he's up there. Let me go back to this.
Well, no, didn't they have the fight before that?
Wait a minute. I'm trying to think about this. This is what this is doing is showing you how brilliant
the
Riddler is.
Yes.
Right. So the situation that happened inside, he knocked Catwoman out with the pool stick. Then brought him to justice. Brought him to justice, but when he brought him out, Falcone was under the impression that he still ran a police department, right? Mm-hmm. So that crime or element of corruption and everything, Commissioner Gordon Batman already squashed that. Mm-hmm. The bringing him into the light part, I will give that he should have thought about that part,
Yeah.
But he was just bringing him out to the police. The situation went south when the Penguin used that to leverage his position, draw down on him, and pull the gun out. And then that's when the shot came and killed Falcone. That means the Riddler understood the Penguin's psyche. He understood everything, and he knew that once Falcone got taken down, once the police got uncorrupt, the Penguin would move in to do that. And knowing who he was, he'd probably draw down on him and try to shoot him. And at that point, that's when I'll take him down.
That means the Riddler has been doing some work, and Batman wasn't.
He did obviously he did the work because he had all of the crimes set up and notes written to the Batman. He had cards printed.
This is what I mean. That means the year before that, Batman was chilling. He should have been
1 year. So whatever they did in the book, I get it. But we're talking about a non-sensational type situation where a guy is driven by his emotions. He's driven by vision.
I need a second one then.
Yeah.
Because
you
feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm coming with?
I cannot dispute what you're saying.
Yeah, I need a second one.
I know what you're talking about.
But also, he has taken the L on the cartoons. He has not figured it out and beat himself up about it. Mm-hmm. That's happened.
What episode is this?
That happened multiple times.
What episode is this? Tell me one right now.
Oh my goodness.
But no, that's what he always loses first, and then has to go back to the lab, figure out some concoction, and then he comes back with it. Now, during this movie, of course, like Jay said, they didn't
won.
What do you mean?
He never won what
in this movie?
He wasn't supposed to win.
There's nothing to win.
There's nothing to win.
Oh, see, now here we go. Now we're in the two-dimensional thinking that Jay Parks does not do. So you saying that he had to block this, do this, and then win.
No, the reason why I say he never won is because he said he always fails in the beginning, and then he comes back. He just said this.
No, in the cartoons, he doesn't. I'm not going to say every cartoon, but in the cartoon, there's something that happens that he didn't figure out
in the
beginning, and then he comes back and makes sure that he comes up with this. He invents something that stops the enemy from.
It's kind of formulaic. That's formulaic.
Yeah, but
so
that's
they didn't follow the formula. Therefore, this movie was bad.
Exactly.
You get where I'm coming from?
We need to take the whole line back to formula.
Back to formula.
So, the fact that they didn't follow the formula should give, and I'm talking, follow the formula but not change the character.
Back to formula.
Not follow the formula, but not change the character. Hence Star Wars. They didn't follow the formula and they changed the character, and that's why it went over a cliff. But they didn't follow the formula for whatever the comic book set up. But that's comic book drama. That's the way this goes. His challenge in this film was himself, more so than it was
anything else.
The Joker and the Riddler read it. And the Riddler's existence and whatever he did through here is what made him understand ultimately that he is not vengeance anymore. That was the meat of the whole thing, and now we have
Batman.
That's my
I hear what
thought
you're
on
saying.
it. Yeah,
I get that. I get what you're saying.
However,
let me tell you something. If y'all did that to Spider-Man, I'll be booing y'all all day.
They did it to Spider-Man.
No, they didn't.
As far as the fanboys were concerned.
Listen, you see this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm strapped.
I know,
I'm strapped in.
I know.
I'm tatted up. Spider-Man.
For brother Bill Heager. What is it? What is it?
thwap,
No.
thwip, and
See,
thwap.
Bill gonna call it. He
Listen,
gonna
it's
call
thwip
it.
and
We gonna
thwap.
get in it.
It's the thwip and the
But
thwap.
the thwip is coming out. Thwap is hitting
Hitting
the wall.
You know where I'm at. It's already hitting the wall.
Yeah,
I'm nice with
you
it.
know, because Bill called. Shout out to Bill Higa.
You see that? Look at it. My reflex.
Yeah, he
strong.
gave a shot, and we need to get him in
Check this
because
out.
we need to get Bill in because Bill hit me up and he wants to talk about Superman, and he has some knowledge that I may not be privy to. I don't know what you guys are because I don't read Superman books. You either, right? So, well, yeah. So
Who
we
am
need.
I?
Right,
He gonna say, "Who am I?
Who am I?
Who am I?
Chop liver."
Really? We still doing that? That was months ago. That was months ago, people.
That was months ago.
Don't worry about that.
What is that? It's a
Oh, baby Jesus.
location joke.
Oh, goodness.
You had to be there. That type of thing. But Bill, we need to talk to Bill about certain things so we can probably have a better understanding of Superman, which then may give us a better appreciation of the Man of Steel.
Oh.
That type of thing. Yeah. Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. And I remember a few years back, briefly kind of standing off to the side on the conversation when he was talking about it. And what he said, it wasn't even plausible. It made absolute sense, what he was saying. But I had to get back to my booth. So I was gone. But yeah, we'll get Bill in. Yeah.
As I was, let me bring this up too.
It's okay.
You know, this was supposed to be short, right?
Okay.
You knew that. Listen, come on. The fact that you even tried to pull that, what are we in? As long as we make it within a 2-hour period, it's all good, son.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So, while I was actually at the theater, I was a seat and a half over from a guy who's a DC fan. And he was like, well, you know, everything that we didn't like, he loved. He said, I don't really like the connectivity that Marvel's are doing. I don't know. I kind of like the standalones, and you know, they're gonna be great. I really like the funness of everything. So there are some people out there that just like the corny and are there along for the ride. It's just
And then,
bro.
And then, my friend, there are some people who are
They gave
in
up.
a state of denial. Again, I told you it's an abusive relationship that they have with people. So as sad as it is still true that someone who has been abused by their partners, and it's a classic example when your friend and their boyfriend break up or girlfriend break up and they come to you seeking counsel and everything, and you're like, hey, you need to cut that loose and let it go, and you point out everything that's negative about this person that is hindering this other person's growth. Later on, they go right back to that person, and you're the one that's out on the end because you talk crap about their narcissistic, codependent relationship that they had. So yeah, he can enjoy every standalone film and say how great they are and everything, but that still does not negate the fact that their universe is screwed up.
You know
They
what?
have failed their fans. They failed the city.
He's disrespectful. That's disrespect to any DC fan for real. Because if you're telling
he's a
me,
diehard DC fan.
No, he's
it's just
not.
like
No, he's
like
not.
a horrible football team. They're
No,
horrible for
no.
years, and I'm a Lions
Ride
fan.
for your team.
No.
Ride for your team, and he's riding for his team.
Yeah.
Listen to
I
me.
ain't mad at him.
Can't be mad at for that.
I can ride.
However,
with
sir,
it.
you are sadly mistaken.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I'm going to tell you right now, despite anything else, I know when something's bad. Clearly, Spider-Man 3, we knew it was bad.
It was trash.
But you don't hear me argue and defend it.
And you are a Spider-Man fan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would never say, it was good. That part was good, and this part, no, it was all garbage. In fact, this is the only time, I'm surprised I'm even telling the world that that movie exists, because in my mind, it only went to 2.
You don't like this?
No, it only went to
that?
2.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that guy only went to 2.
Right.
As far as it went, Doc Ock, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
So
Yeah.
when people accept stuff, dude, you're giving up.
This
Yes.
is the sound of crackers.
And listen, I don't like plain crackers. Me
Yeah,
personally,
man.
I like flavor.
Yeah,
You
I
like
like
Ritz?
to eat.
I
I
like
don't.
Ritz.
You like the
don't-
Ritz.
don't-
Damn, that's the best cracker I've ate in my life. That ain't no regular cracker, was it? What was that, a saltine? Goddamn, that was delicious. That wasn't no saltine, no, that was the Ritz. That wasn't no Ritz. I said, God, that's the best cracker I've ate in my life. Have another one, please, one more.
See, first of all, don't starve yourself, you know. And if you allow these suits to starve you, and then you just keep eating what they give you, they're going to keep giving the garbage.
Exactly.
They're going to keep including exploding monkeys. They're going to do the formula. I think on the phone we talked about this where, okay, you introduce the crime. Then after that, you introduce the hero. And then after that, you introduce his girl. And then somewhere down the line, you introduce somebody that will help them people along the journey.
Hello there.
Then his girl gets in trouble. And then he has to go rescue the girl. And then after the girl, he'll meet the villain and lose. Then he has to go back and his helper and his girl tell them that you're the greatest and you're the best. And then they go fight. And then that's that.
Don't forget the comic relief.
Well, yeah, that part too. So they do all of that. And they keep those formulas going and people buy it every day. And we need a car chase. So we need to put a car chase in. Not if it's not moving the story along. You know, that's that 90s mentality. You know, blowing up everything. And when I noticed this in the 90s movies, when they blow up something, boom, and boom, and boom, boom. The explosion happens like 10 times, 5 or 6 times exactly.
That's
5
what
times.
happens in real life.
Right. But it gives you that sensation. Remember the cliche walking away from the fire in slow motion?
Oh, yeah.
That's the same.
That happened in Batman.
It did.
Oh, you don't remember?
In the car chase.
When the penguin was upside down?
He didn't walk away from the fire. He walked out of the fire. Come on, guys.
No. The car was already out of the fire. He walked away.
No.
He drove through the fire.
This is what happened. He drove through the fire, whatever happened. He jumped over the thing. He got out the car, walked out, and walked towards the penguin.
Yeah,
he did not walk away from an exploding building.
No, but it had
throwing his hands up in the air and snapping. Charlie's Angel style.
He walked. Nobody.
Because what that
you know what? That just let me know where your mom was at.
What that was a counter to the penguin saying, "I got you.
Yeah.
I got you." No, you did not. And by the way, let me lean down and look at you.
That he did a peekaboo.
That was dope.
What I thought he was gonna do was rip the door off. I thought he was gonna rip the door off.
And that's the best part about us being trained with BS. Because 1, he should have ripped the door off. Or 2, he should have had a one-liner.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
He did
No, please no one-liners.
But do you understand what I mean?
No.
That's
Don't
why
say nothing.
that's why I respect what they did, because that was the place for it. Rip the door off, pull them out. No, he just leaned down and they cut the scene. Are we in agreement that it was a good move, good film?
Yes, it was solid.
Okay, because everything else is personal. Everything else is opinion and how we feel. Yeah, because when we initially did the
you watched it again?
Yeah, I watched it twice. I went in the morning and I went with Jay.
I don't believe that he would watch it again. He just wanted to hang out.
Oh, well, I watch it again. Will I watch it again?
Out.
Yes, I will watch it again. But here's my reasons for watching it again. Now I want to study that costume.
I know it.
I want to study Colin Farrell's makeup. I have no problem looking at Zoe Kravitz. Like she looked like a female version of Prince.
When she walked away from him after she kissed him.
That's how Prince walks.
Walked away. Dude, I was in the movie theater when she kissed him and walked away.
The picture.
She walked away and the shoulders was moving like this.
Right. Me, that was my laughter part.
Dude,
it's because when she was walking, her head
was bopping
because she was doing too much of that swish and sway. I was like, girl, calm down. All you have to do, Zoe, is walk. You're Zoe Kravitz. You've established your thing. Just walk. But she was whatever. But she still reminded me of Prince.
One thing I forgot to add this. It was I don't know where they shot that at.
New York.
That was New York?
Yeah.
I thought it was New York, but then it was kind of
your first clue was the
Madison
garden.
I've never been to New York, so I don't know.
You need to get out more.
I do. That's on my bucket list. I asked my brother here to.
I ain't been home.
But
it's okay.
But like the way that they built Gotham, like the aesthetic of Gotham was phenomenal. I really loved that. I really loved what they did. It looked different. It didn't look New York, but it had the Midwest Gothic old school feeling.
Normally it's Pittsburgh.
No, Chicago.
They do Pittsburgh a lot.
Yeah,
Christian Bale was Pittsburgh.
No, Christian Bale was Chicago.
Who was Pittsburgh? One of them, Christian Bale. One of those movies is in Pittsburgh.
They used part of Pittsburgh, but Batman versus Superman was Detroit.
That was Detroit. Yeah, I remember
the first precinct. That's where my parents worked there. Yeah, they were. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it looked really dope.
Yeah,
I can really give the kudos to them for that.
It's a wet city, man.
Yeah, it was
wet ass city.
All I know is it doesn't matter. So
we'll see.
It doesn't
right now. We'll see because we don't know what those suits are doing. You know.
Do you think that was Two-Face possibly?
No, Two-Face doesn't laugh like that. Unless you're talking about Tommy Lee Jones.
The bat's stubborn refusal to expire is driving us insane.
See, that's why you don't know.
Tommy Lee Riddler.
That's why That's why you don't know.
Nah, no, I won't take. I can't take anything away from this production.
I wasn't trying to.
Yeah,
I'm just. Well, the reason why I asked is because somebody was like, "I think that was Two-Face." I'm like,
whatever,
no.
Man. I'm gonna have a thing of straws sitting here, so when people start reaching for them, I'll just give them one. Straw for you, straw for you, straw for you, straw for you. No, that was supposed to be the Joker.
What is this, Joker number 7?
Whatever, man. Again, to make it right, I just lead it over to that was Christian 2 years. Imagining that was 2 years into Christian Bale's 10 years Batman, and left it at that. Did you guys get to see the Obi-Wan trailer?
Absolutely.
Thoughts?